Welcome back. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, but some of these coins are worth way more than 25 cents. From 90% silver quarters to rare mint errors and low mintage years, these quarters can be valuable finds. Let's explore which Washington quarters are worth collecting. First up, the 1968 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark is a coin that holds a quiet place in American numismatic history. Though it may appear worn and shaded with a bit of black from years of circulation, this quarter tells a story that spans generations. It represents a time when America was in the midst of social change, political transformation, and technological progress. Even in bad condition, a coin like this can capture the imagination of collectors and history lovers alike. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. His face has remained on the quarter ever since. The coin was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, who created a bold and respectful profile of Washington for the obverse side. On the reverse side, the eagle stands proud and strong as a symbol of American strength and freedom. The 1968 edition continues a tradition, holding true to the classical design that Americans had come to know and trust. When we talk about a 1968 quarter without a mint mark, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint did not use mint marks on quarters in 1968, unlike the Denver Mint, which used a D, and the San Francisco Mint, which used an S for proof coins. This detail makes identifying the origin of a no-mint mark quarter an interesting challenge for collectors. Though millions were minted, finding one in original condition is becoming harder as time passes. The coin you have is in bad condition, with a little black shade, a sign of oxidation or exposure to different environments over the years. That wear and tear tells its own tale. Maybe it passed through hundreds of hands, used in everyday purchases, riding in pockets and purses from coast to coast. The age and damage do affect the visual quality, but can also be appreciated as part of its long journey through American life. What makes a coin like this potentially valuable is not only its age, but the stories and mystery that surround it. Some 1968 quarters may have minting errors that are very rare. These errors could include double dies, off-center strikes, clipped plankets, or other unusual mistakes that occur during production. A coin with a dramatic or visible error can command extremely high prices on the collector's market. While your coin is described as having no such obvious error, sometimes deeper inspection under magnification reveals hidden details missed by the naked eye. In recent years, even common coins have seen dramatic increases in value under the right conditions. High demand from passionate collectors and rising interest in U.S. coin history has pushed prices higher for coins that were once overlooked. For the 1968 quarter without a mint mark, this interest has led some buyers to pay significant sums, especially if the coin has a compelling backstory, an interesting shade or tone, or is part of a rare die variety. Even in circulated and worn condition, your coin still carries symbolic and collector value. It reflects a time of deep change in the United States. The year 1968 saw the loss of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy. It was a year of civil rights marches, student protests, and the continuing tension of the Vietnam War. The coin from that year becomes more than just metal. It becomes a historical witness. Some collectors specialize in coins from milestone years like 1968, making this coin a potential point of interest for someone building a set based on important moments in history. If the coin has even a slight error, an unusual tone, or is one of the earliest struck from worn dies, it could carry even more value. When talking about potential value ranges like $800,000 to $90 million, it's important to understand that only the rarest, most extraordinary coins achieve such levels. These might include coins struck on the wrong planchet, coins with rare compositions, or coins connected to a famous collection or discovery. However, markets can surprise people. If a unique trait is discovered in a 1968 no mint mark quarter, and it becomes famous or sought after. Even the most damaged coin could become part of that surge in value. Your coin could still catch the attention of a collector interested in condition variety or natural aging. Some see beauty in the black shade, as it offers a contrast against the silver tone and gives the coin a sense of mystery and movement through time. The coin might also be viewed by those who enjoy collecting coins not for perfection, but for personality. A coin that has lived in the real world and survived many decades often holds emotional value for collectors who admire the journey of money as much as its pristine condition. In conclusion, the 1968 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark may not immediately appear like a rare treasure, but when examined with curiosity and respect, it stands as a tribute to American history, change, and endurance. Its condition may not be perfect, but its story is rich. In a world where collectors seek pieces with soul and character, your coin could find its place. And if tied to a newly discovered variety or era, its value might rise beyond expectations. Coins are more than money. They are memories in metal, and your 1968 quarter carries that legacy proudly. Next up we have the 1980 Washington quarter dollar is a coin that tells a quiet but meaningful story in the world of American coinage. Even with some scratches and a little black shade, it represents a piece of the country's history and a memory of the early 1980s. Every mark and imperfection on this quarter adds to its unique journey through time. While most people might overlook a coin like this in their daily change, collectors and coin lovers often look deeper. They understand that even common coins can sometimes become rare treasures, especially when they hold special characteristics or were struck during important periods in minting history. The Washington quarter has been one of the most iconic coins in the United States since it was first introduced in 1932. It was created to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington and has remained a consistent part of U.S. coinage ever since. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin features a classic portrait of Washington on the front and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. By 1982, this design had already become familiar across the nation, but the specific details of that year give the 1980 Washington quarter a character all its own. One of the most important facts about the 1980 quarter is that it was struck during a time of change for the U.S. Mint. In 1982, the Mint stopped producing uncirculated mint sets for the public. This decision created a situation where high-grade examples of the 1980 quarter became harder to find over time. Because no official mint sets were available, all quarters from this year had to be collected from circulation. As a result, most of the 1980 quarters, like yours, show signs of wear such as scratches and discoloration. This has made well-preserved examples more desirable and harder to locate in pristine condition. The coin you describe has some scratches and a bit of black shading. These are typical for coins that have been used regularly over many years. Still, many collectors appreciate the character and history these signs of use bring. A coin that has traveled through hands across the country has its own kind of value. And in rare cases, imperfections can even turn into features if they come from unique minting errors or aging effects. Coins with natural toning or rare surface changes can attract serious interest from certain segments of the collecting community. In the numismatic world, coins from 1980 have gained more attention due to the changes in the way coins were made and distributed during that time. Some quarters from this year show signs of doubling, weak strikes, or even off-center designs. Any 1980 quarter that displays such an error could potentially become a high-value item. A detailed inspection of your coin with a magnifier might reveal small clues that could raise its worth dramatically. It is also important to recognize how values in the coin market can shift quickly. While a typical 1980 quarter might trade for only a modest amount, the right set of conditions can send its value soaring. If a particular coin becomes part of a well-known discovery, such as a new die variety or a rare minting mistake, collectors will compete to own a piece of that history. Some coins that originally seemed ordinary have later sold for thousands or even millions of dollars once collectors realized their significance. When thinking about coin values in the range of hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, rarity is key. A 1980 quarter that contains a unique error or is preserved in exceptional condition might eventually reach this level. The coin you describe could one day be connected to a newly discovered variety or recognized for a rare feature. That makes it a standout. Collectors and dealers alike are always looking for the next unexpected treasure, and sometimes the most surprising finds come from coins that seemed completely average at first. Beyond its potential monetary worth, the 1980 Washington quarter is a piece of American heritage. It reflects a time when the country was facing economic challenges, political shifts, and changes in the way money was made. Owning a coin from this year is like holding a small part of that story in your hand. For collectors who care about history and the real-world use of coins, the scratches and black shading on your quarter are not flaws, but rather symbols of a long and meaningful journey. Every coin has the potential to become something more. Your 1980 quarter could be part of a growing trend in coin collecting where everyday coins are being re-examined and appreciated in new ways. Whether it remains a piece of pocket change or becomes a high-value collectible, it holds significance. Its story continues as long as people care about where it came from and what it represents. In a world where value is often determined by rarity, demand, and uniqueness, a coin like the 1980 Washington quarter should never be overlooked. It is a reminder that sometimes even the most common objects can become treasures when viewed through the right lens, and who knows, your coin might just be the one that surprises everyone and finds its way into the spotlight. Next up we have the 1985 Washington quarter dollar is a coin that stands as a piece of everyday American history. Though its condition may be marked by some rust and clear signs of circulation, it remains a fascinating item to both casual collectors and dedicated numismatists. This coin is part of the long and iconic line of Washington quarters that began in 1930 to honor the first president of the United States. While the majority of quarters from this era may not immediately strike someone as rare or particularly valuable, certain conditions, historical context, and hidden details can turn even the most common-looking coin into something truly special. The 1985 quarter, minted in Philadelphia, carries with it the legacy of American craftsmanship and the enduring design of George Washington's portrait, which has graced the quarter for decades. Coins like the 1985 quarter may at first appear humble. Some rust and signs of wear indicate it has passed through many hands and has been part of daily life for countless people, yet that wear tells a story. It reflects the journey of a coin through time, commerce, and history, from pocket change at a local diner to cash in a toll booth or a school vending machine. This coin has seen the world in a way only currency can. Each nick and mark represents a moment it was used in real life, and that adds authenticity and charm to its character. In the coin collecting world, even circulated coins can be highly valued when they carry unique attributes or come from specific minting runs. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck the 1985 quarter, does not use a mint mark, so the presence of the letter P was part of a brief trend that started in the late 1970s and early 1980s. While 1985 quarters are not necessarily scarce in terms of mintage numbers, their survival in collectible condition varies greatly. A coin like yours, showing signs of rust and general circulation, may at first seem less desirable. However, the market for rare coins is constantly evolving. What collectors look for is not always the shine or perfect grade, but rather the story, potential for rarity, and possible hidden errors that can make a coin exceptional. One of the exciting parts about coins from the 1980s is that this period saw a variety of striking inconsistencies and small errors that went unnoticed at the time, but have since become collector favorites. Misaligned dies, doubling on the lettering or date, planchette flaws, and off-center strikes are all potential features that could exist on a coin like the 1985 quarter. Sometimes these variations are subtle and require magnification to spot. In other cases, they are obvious and dramatic. A coin from this year that exhibits any of these traits could be worth far more than its face value. In the world of high-value coins, a single error or unique feature can elevate a coin's worth to astounding levels. There are documented cases where common coins from certain years were later discovered to contain rare and desirable traits and were sold at auctions for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. While this is rare, it is not impossible. The true value of a coin is a combination of its physical condition, historical importance, and market interest. With the right characteristics, a coin, like your 1985p quarter, could reach values well beyond expectations. The idea of a coin being worth from $800,000 to $90 million may sound extreme, but history shows that the coin world is full of surprises. Imagine a coin like this being discovered to have a double die error that no one had previously cataloged. Imagine it catching the attention of collectors looking for the next great treasure to add to their collections. Its journey from rusted pocket change to valuable collectible would not be without precedent. This is what keeps the hobby of coin collecting so exciting. Every coin has the potential to be something more, and even coins that show signs of wear and aging can hold immense hidden value. There is also the cultural and sentimental value attached to a coin like this. Coins from the 1980s evoke memories of a different time. Whether it was the music playing from cassette tapes, the early rise of video games, or the way people interacted with money before the rise of digital transactions, these coins are relics from that era. Owning one is like having a small time capsule in your hand. For some collectors, this nostalgic value is just as important as rarity or condition. The appeal of the Washington quarter has not diminished over the years. It has become one of the most recognized and collected coins in the United States. The portrait of George Washington remains strong and dignified, and the eagle on the reverse is a powerful symbol of American freedom and strength. The design is both timeless and historic, and the 1985p quarter is part of that legacy. Whether you are a collector, investor, or simply someone who found this coin in a drawer, the potential for it to be something truly valuable is always there. It is also important to remember that the market for coins is driven not only by collectors, but also by history enthusiasts, investors, and even museums. As interest in tangible historical items grows, so does the potential value of coins that carry stories from the past. The 1985p Washington quarter may have some rust and show its age, but that does not take away from its possible importance or appeal. Its very imperfections might make it stand out among millions of others, and that could make all the difference in its future value. In conclusion, the 1985p Washington quarter dollar may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but it holds the potential to become something extraordinary. With a little attention to detail and understanding of coin history and an open mind to the surprises the world of numismatics can offer, this coin could one day be recognized for its true value. Whether it ends up being worth thousands or millions, its story is worth exploring and sharing. Every coin has its own unique path, and this one may just be on the journey toward greatness. Next up, we have the 1974 Washington quarter dollar is a coin that represents a classic era in American coinage and has become increasingly interesting to collectors over the years. Although it may seem like an ordinary circulated coin at first glance, there is a depth of history and potential value behind it that should not be overlooked. Minted at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the D mark, the 1974 D quarter features the portrait of George Washington on the obverse side. This design by John Flanagan has been a staple of American quarters since 1932, and even in its circulated form, this coin remains an iconic piece of American culture. The Washington quarter was originally introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over time, it transitioned from a commemorative coin to a regular issue that became part of everyday use across the United States. The 1974 D version was struck during a period when coins were composed of a copper-nickel clad rather than silver, a change made in the mid-1960s due to the rising cost of silver. Despite this, collectors still place a significant value on coins from the 1970s due to their historical importance, variations in strike quality, and sometimes unnoticed minting errors. A circulated 1970 for D quarter carries with it the visible signs of use. These may include worn edges, faded details, and other minor imperfections. But to a true numismatist, these signs of life add to the authenticity and journey of the coin. This particular piece might have traveled through countless hands, pockets, and registers. It could have been part of someone's spare change during a gas station stop in the 70s or used to buy a soda in a vending machine decades ago. These everyday stories are embedded in the wear and texture of the coin, making it not only a piece of metal, but a slice of American daily life from a bygone era. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins like the 1970 for D quarter for several reasons. Firstly, there is the possibility of rare minting errors that were not widely noticed at the time. These can include off-center strikes, double dies, or planchette issues. Any one of these errors can elevate the value of a coin dramatically, while many 1970 for D quarters may appear similar on the surface. Small differences can lead to substantial financial value. A sharp-eyed collector who spots such a difference could be in possession of a coin worth thousands or even millions depending on the rarity and market interest. Even without errors, this coin can attract attention if it retains strong details or has developed a unique patina from circulation. Some coins age in a way that gives them a beautiful, natural finish that collectors admire. Others might show distinctive toning or coloration that makes them stand out from the rest. These factors can create visual interest that leads to higher demand and ultimately greater value. When evaluating such a coin, professionals look not only at grade and strike, but also at eye appeal and uniqueness. In today's coin market, there is increasing interest in coins from the 1970s. This is partly driven by nostalgia and partly by a desire to find hidden gems among common pocket change. As more people begin to appreciate the historical significance of circulated coins, values can climb unexpectedly. A 1970 for D quarter that may have been overlooked for decades might now command serious attention if it is shown to have any unique attributes or is one of the best preserved examples of its kind. The belief that coins like this could be worth from $800,000 to $90 million may sound surprising, but rare coin auctions have often shown that surprising valuations are possible under the right conditions. Coin collecting is not just about condition and rarity, it is also about storytelling and connection. A 1970 for D quarter in circulated condition is more than just a quarter. It is a piece of the 70s that people can hold in their hands. It was minted during a decade that saw major changes in American culture, politics, and technology. This coin could have been used during the early days of arcade gaming or been carried in a wallet during the height of disco music. For collectors who value history and tangible links to the past, this connection enhances the worth of the coin significantly. Additionally, the 1970 for D quarter is part of a broader legacy. Washington quarters remained largely unchanged in design for decades before the state quarters series began in 1999. This makes the 1970 for D a key part of a long-standing tradition and a collectible coin for those focusing on pre-modern designs. It bridges the gap between earlier silver coins and the modern commemorative issues, offering a snapshot of transition in American coinage. The demand for coins like the 1970 for D quarter will likely continue to grow as more people discover the joys of numismatics. Collectors who take the time to examine their coins carefully and understand their historical significance often find unexpected treasures. It is not unusual for a coin once thought to be common to rise in value as interest grows, and more information comes to light about mintage variations and hidden errors. Auctions and private sales can sometimes reveal just how valuable even circulated coins can become when the right bear sees their potential. In summary, the 1974 D Washington quarter dollar may be circulated and worn, but that does not diminish its importance or its potential value. It remains a symbol of American heritage and everyday history. With increasing interest in vintage coins and the possibility of rare features that enhance its appeal, this coin could one day be recognized as a highly valuable piece in the world of numismatics. From the collector's hand to the auction block, its journey could continue to surprise and impress those who understand that even the most humble-looking coin may carry within it a treasure worth discovering. Next up we have the 1966 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark is a coin that carries with it not only monetary value but also deep historical and cultural significance. While this coin might initially appear as just another piece of everyday currency that passed through countless hands over decades, it holds a fascinating place in the world of numismatics. With its condition described as circulated and showing some scratches, this coin still attracts attention among coin collectors and history enthusiasts. A circulated coin does not lose its historical value just because of wear. In fact, the wear often adds to its character and the story it tells about the people and times it passed through. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The obverse side of the coin features a profile of Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This design remained unchanged for decades, becoming one of the most recognized American coin designs in history. The reverse side features an eagle with outstretched wings, a classic symbol of American strength and freedom. By 1966, the Washington quarter had become a staple in pockets, cash registers, and change jars across the country. The year 1966 was a transitional time in American coinage. Just 1 year earlier in 1965, the United States Mint stopped producing quarters with silver content due to rising silver prices and the growing cost of production. As a result, the 1966 quarter was struck with a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of the 90% silver that had been used in earlier years. This change marked a significant shift in U.S. coinage. It was part of a broader adjustment to preserve the availability of coinage while adapting to economic pressures. Despite the change in metal, the quarter retained its original weight and size. One notable feature of the 1966 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins as part of an effort to reduce coin hoarding. There was a widespread fear that people were pulling coins from circulation based on their mint marks and potentially disrupting the coin supply. By eliminating mint marks during this period, the mint aimed to discourage speculative collecting and help stabilize coin availability. This makes the 1966 quarter unique among collectors because it stands out as a piece from a time when production policies were directly shaped by the economic behavior of the public. While this particular 1966 quarter may have scratches and shows signs of circulation, that does not disqualify it from being valuable. Collectors often look beyond surface work to evaluate a coin's potential. Important factors include rarity, historical significance, mintage numbers, and unique features, such as errors or unusual characteristics. Coins that were widely used but managed to survive the passage of time are sometimes more desirable than coins that were kept untouched because they carry the essence of real-life utility and history. In recent years, interest in vintage and historical coins has surged. Auctions and private sales have highlighted coins that were once considered common but now fetch high prices due to increasing demand and a deeper appreciation for their background. The 1966 quarter has become a favorite among certain collectors who understand its place in the timeline of American currency and its role in the transition from silver to clad coinage. The idea that this coin could be valued as high as $800,000 to $90 million might seem surprising, but extraordinary valuations have occurred for coins with distinctive traits or limited surviving examples. In addition to its background, collectors sometimes find varieties or minting errors in 1966 quarters. These can include doubling in the lettering or imagery, off-center strikes, or die cracks that create unique patterns on the coin's surface. These kinds of flaws, when authentic and rare, are highly prized in the numismatic world. A circulated 1966 quarter with a confirmed rare error dramatically increase in value depending on its uniqueness and the interest it garners among expert collectors. This coin also resonates with people on a personal level. Many individuals who collect coins do so not just for profit, but for connection. Coins like the 1966 Washington quarter are not only artifacts of monetary exchange, but also symbols of a certain era in American life. It may have been used during the Civil Rights Movement, carried in the pocket of someone who saw the moon landing just 3 years later, or passed through a family business handed down for generations. The emotional and historical connection that people feel toward coins often influences their value in ways that go beyond metal content or grading systems. Coin collecting is often described as the hobby of kings, but it is also the passion of everyday people who find meaning in small things that hold big stories. The 1966 quarter stands as a reminder of change, transition, and endurance. While it may have lost some of its original luster, it has gained a new kind of value in the eyes of those who see its deeper significance. Whether found in a family heirloom collection, purchased at an antique shop, or discovered in a box of old change, a 1966 quarter in circulated condition still has the potential to inspire curiosity and admiration. Collectors who take time to understand the story behind each coin often find themselves drawn into a lifelong journey of discovery. The 1966 Washington quarter may look ordinary to some, but for those who recognize its place in history and the broader context of American coinage, it represents something extraordinary. With growing attention and appreciation, coins like this one may continue to rise in both sentimental and financial value, making them treasures not just for today, but for future generations.